So the first one, guys, and we have it right here on the screen for you guys, is the gender pay gap is not real. Again, the topic is the gender pay gap is not real. So if you disagree, in other words, I don't think that women earning less than men is real. So if anybody wants to come in and have a discussion on it, you're more than welcome. Put up your paddle. I don't know. Everybody terrified? Well, it is Miami.
You got something? Me?
Yeah, come on up. Come on up.
Oh, okay.
Don't be scared. Yeah, go ahead. And you can ask me if you want me to like clarify or anything like that, feel free. But yes, the gender pay gap is not real.
Are you saying that women have the same opportunities as men in pay raises? Is that what you're saying?
I think women actually have more opportunities than men.
Is
not the same.
In
I would argue.
corporate world?
Yes.
I disagree because I feel like women tend to, I feel like women tend to deal with more sexual harassment in the workplace. So if they are getting promoted, it's probably not like because they're actually qualified. It's probably just because she looks the best. So I don't think that the actually qualified women who like take their time and like take the educational routes are getting the same pay because they're not as desirable by the men in those fields that are appointing the people. But I do think it's more like on the equal scale than it used to be back in the day. I don't think women are like so far behind from men. So, I would say if men are here, women are probably like right here. Like we're not like, it's not as much of the gap as it used to be back in the day.
Okay, so my thing is I think like basically the reason why there is a gap is because, well, I'll kind of give you my full position. I think there is no gender pay gap, and I think women earn less because they deserve less. And I think there's a multitude of different reasons why I have that position, why women deserve less when it comes to how much they get paid. But to go to what you said when it comes to like sexual harassment or them getting the job, I think that kind of adds more, power to my argument where women are getting positions even though they're not qualified because they're women. Now you're saying why? Because sexual harassment, but it doesn't change the fact that like they're still getting the positions even though they're not as qualified. And I would argue a lot of the times when women get sexually harassed, that's from them making bad decisions on how they dress and how they behave. I think sexual harassment, a lot of it has to do with the woman's behaviors because sexual harassment means you're being objectified. I think for you to be objectified, you have to objectify yourself first, which I think women chronically objectify themselves first, then get mad when men objectify them in response.
Oh. Oh, well,
I threw all that out there. So first I said women earn less because they deserve less. That's the first thing I said.
Okay, so on we deserve less.
Yes.
Are you making that statement in the assumption that you want us at home? And that we work less because we have to take more care of the home and men are more outside than women are?
Well, that's a part of it. But like if everything is all equal, the reason why women earn less. Oh, someone else wants to come in?
Yeah,
sure. Did we have, oh yeah, ladies, by the way, if you don't think she's doing a good job, raise your paddle up. And then if we get like a majority, then she'll get kicked off.
I was just laughing.
But do we have a majority? We don't have a majority yet, right? Okay, how many girls have paddle up? Do we have 6?
All of them.
Oh, damn, they all want you gone. Okay, fair enough. All right. That's brutal.
Honestly, oh, sorry. My apologies. I believe what you're saying.
Hey, y'all.
It is a difference between men and women in the age gap. I do understand what you're saying. Men are more qualified in some industries, tons of industries. Men are more qualified to make more money and be able to surpass women. Definitely. In certain things, construction, certain different type of carpentry industry, all different types of industries, especially even in the automobile industry, even in tons of industries, they surpass women. So of course they're supposed to get paid more money and they're supposed to be given more money. But at the same time, women do have opportunities where they surpass men as well, where men can't reach their pay scale and women can reach the men pay scale. But they're going to have to work harder. You have to put forth more work and more energy and a lot of more things to be able to reach at a man. But in my opinion, women do deserve, if they work hard enough, to be able to be paid on a male scale. But at the same time, certain things are more qualified. Certain more money for men is more qualified for men specifically.
So I see your perspective, but what you're making an argument for is like you're saying you want equality of opportunity, which that's fine. But the reality is a lot of times it's they get equality of outcome, which is basically women want the same pay for doing less work. Mm-hmm. Like across the board, women work less hours, they work less dangerous jobs, they take less risks, they're more likely to take vacation, more likely to take paternity leave, of course. Women just don't work as hard as men in general, and they don't go into certain professions that pay more. And women also don't negotiate for higher rates of pay. They're more agreeable, which being more agreeable also lends to you earning less money. So in general, there's a multitude of different reasons why women earn less, but I would argue the reason why women earn less most of the time is because they actually deserve less.
Not all the time. Sometimes women do the same amount of level as other females. I mean, as other males
Such
in
as?
the industry. Like, for example, I had a job last week that I was doing 10 times more work than the men. We were setting up a basketball tournament for all the different high schools, everything, setting up the whole auditorium, setting up the whole main place at the Fort Lauderdale arena.
Well, but there's a bunch of different factors that go in, like experience, education, background. All of these things
That is
play
true.
into a role.
But I was
Why?
doing more work than all of the men. And of course the men, because of my appearance, you know, sometimes I don't show up ugly. I don't show up looking a hot mess like everybody else. So, you know, I don't look like the heavy duty like you're supposed to. So they might get a call back, but I don't get a call back.
Was this like a physical manual labor job or something, or what were you doing?
I do physical manual labor.
Like, so you're setting up the basketball court?
We were setting up basketball courts. You know, basketball courts have to be set up in order for arenas.
Yeah.
You know, whether they switch it between.
So you're saying that you're doing more work than the guys, and you're saying you get
that's
paid
what I'm
less than
saying.
them, or the same?
We're getting the same, and some of them I was getting paid more. Believe it or not.
Okay, and you're a woman.
And I'm a woman. But at the same time, certain things are more qualified than women, and certain things women are more qualified than men. In
what ways would the women be more
think
qualified?
about it. Women take over makeup, hair, food, especially baking, especially kids' lifestyle on YouTube. Even on YouTube, they trump when it comes to.
I mean, I wouldn't consider YouTube like a real, like, career field like that. Even though I'm in this industry, like, I still wouldn't. I still to this day don't consider this like a real job. It's a lot of work, but I still don't. I don't know. Put it at the same level. Yeah, I mean, I see your argument, but typically wherever there's men and women competing, men just outperform the women because men tend to be better than women at many things, and men a lot of times have a higher incentive to work harder than women. Like, women sometimes work hard, that's great, but it's a choice for them. Oh, do we have a majority of women that are majority of you guys?
Majority of women. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
they're tired of you. All good. Who's up next? Oh, go ahead. So my position again is that the wage gap does not exist, so we'll kind of try to stick on that if we can.
Yeah, you were saying women deserve less, but how did you get here and who raised you?
I don't know what that has to do with the argument, but
Because we have to take on a lot more things than men do.
okay.
Have you ever known a man to bear a child?
What does that have to do with the wage gap?
You said, well, the main point you were making is women deserve less. So
Yes, when it comes to being in the work field and making money and being in the workforce, women earn less because they deserve less most of the time. For the reasons I mentioned, they work less hours, they don't work as dangerous jobs, it's experience, education, all of these factors play in. And basically what happened was when we talk about the wage gap, right, they say like the man earns $1 and the woman earns 80 cents. That comes from all working men versus all working women. So all working men versus all working women, that doesn't account for education, all the other things that play into, you know, the situation as to why women get paid less. But being a mom or motherly duty doesn't really have to do with this.
I mean, it kind of does. Women are encouraged a lot of times not to work and to be stay-at-home moms and to take care of children. So
I would argue the other way now. It used to be like that way.
Well, I know, but as a
But
society,
women are literally incentivized now to be single and pursue a career and education over a family.
So the wage gap is closing due to that reason, right? Because we're actually pursuing things
Well,
in education.
to a degree, it is closing, but women still choose jobs a lot of the times that don't pay as much. Women are more interested in jobs that, you know, social work, jobs that like teaching, jobs that have to deal with people, and those typically don't pay as much as like science, technology, engineering, math, or blue collar jobs, which also pay a lot.
What were your other points?
That's it.
What were your other points, though?
No, that was it. My position is that women earn less because they deserve less most of the time.
I don't think they deserve less.
Okay, why do you not think they deserve less?
Because they might work lower wage jobs, but they're doing way more to benefit the community. If it's social work, if it's whatever you just said.
Well, I mean, the thing is that you typically get paid on the value that you provide, right? And then how rare is that value? So, for example, a regular doctor might make $100,000 a year, but a brain surgeon is making $500 to $1 million a year. Why? Because you have to go to school longer. That skill is very precise, and it's difficult to find that skill set. So they're able to charge more. So the amount of value he provides is enormous, and only he can provide it.
Yeah, but value is intrinsic. So to an individual, they can decide what they find valuable or not. I know, obviously, healthcare. Everyone needs healthcare, so that's different. But
yeah, but the point I'm trying to establish with that example is that the market dictates the value. So social workers, they're a dime a dozen. Every girl that graduates from college wants to be a social worker, but not everyone can be a brain surgeon, for example. So it's hard to do it. There's a high gap to get in, and then obviously it's really needed because if you need a brain surgery or whatever, there's only a few people in your state that could do it. Hence why they get paid more.
What does that have to do with men and women, though? You're just talking about brain surgeons now.
I was giving you the example as to why
Stupid.
adding value, right, is how you get paid. Because you were saying, oh, well, women do great work. That's true. But that job is replaceable by being a social worker versus being a brain surgeon. Does that make sense? All right. Okay. Who's up next? Or did you guys want, or no, nobody else had it? Okay. Now you guys agree? You guys all think women are just that easy? Women deserve less? Just like that, women deserve less? Okay.
I think the way you're saying it. Oh.
Okay, if you guys think women deserve less, then come on. Or you don't think they deserve less, go ahead.
Okay, I think the way you're saying it is coming off kind of condescending versus if you were to be like, men do more because they're physically able to do more. So yes, you should be paying them more.
Hence,
but
women deserve less.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Same conclusion.
But in that same stance, like, I mean, it's really hard to disagree with you. It's just the way you're saying it. It's coming off kind of like, ugh.
Well, I mean, it's true. The reality is that women tend to not work as hard as men because you guys don't have the same
Well, I mean, if it came
incentive
to
to work
like
hard.
getting like drafted for the war, I mean, I'm happy to choose you over me any day.
Sure,
Yeah, if you're gonna
sure.
get paid more regardless, yeah, go out there.
Well, no,
I don't
actually, if
wanna
we were
be
both to
doing-
join the military at the same level, we would get paid the same. Unfortunately, but yeah.
Oh, unfortunately.
Actually,
but
that's
aren't
a
they
perfect
both,
example. You know
aren't
what?
they both
Let's have fun with
risking
this.
their lives?
Yeah, you're right. But let's say me and you both enlisted. We would get paid the same, even though you're physically inferior, and you
Yeah.
have a lower standard that you have to achieve to get into the same military. So I have a higher standard, and I get paid less. Isn't that crazy?
That sucks. Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with you because
The same thing with being a cop, a
Yeah.
firefighter. Standards are lower, but you get paid the same. So I would argue, if anything, we should be mad. We deserve more. Y'all deserve even less.
damn, he's out here eating us alive, bro. Well, your statement is said condescendingly, but I don't necessarily think that you're wrong for your thought pattern because, in general, I do think that men tend to put in more work than women do.
You don't think men are
because-
superior to women?
No, I do because, like, I'm not trying to be out there doing nothing. I don't want to mow no lawn. I
So
don't
wouldn't
take out
being
no trash.
condescending fits
I
then?
wanna-
It's talking down to someone, isn't it? Condescending? Wouldn't it be
Yeah,
fair?
because you ain't got to say it like that. You could just be like, babe, I work harder than you, so I deserve a little bit more. That's fine.
Yeah, but you're acknowledging that men are superior, and then if I speak in a condescending way, you're like, well, don't talk to me like I'm lower, even though I am, but...
Because it's rude. And you're
think-
supposed to be nice to everybody.
Okay, all right.
Exactly.